This is Mr. Pold.
I'm St. Jimmy.
I'm Coach DVD.
Nice.
All right, Coach.
He's wearing his coach hat.
Yeah. My hair's probably messy, that's why I left it on.
Oh, yeah, me too.
It was raining and it got wet and I had it on while the whole practice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Our fake sponsor this week is Dougal. Do everything online with Dougal. I'm going to check my D-mail.
Now with new medical added, Dougal Hauser.
That's pretty smart.
So, you want to tell us more about your injury you sustained while riding bareback on a horse?
That's not what happened.
Wearing an AT-AT costume.
That's also not what happened.
Oh.
I didn't think about you guys possibly telling your own stories for what happened. I should probably listen to the show.
Yes.
So, we were running some scout team offense for defense based on what
Sounds
the
perilous.
opponent runs.
Were they all Girl Scouts?
Did
No.
they all get concussions?
No.
Oh.
They have helmets.
Oh.
So I was playing fullback on the scout team offense.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you had just
I
eaten.
ran a dive play. That's where the fullback gets the ball off
Yes.
left guard, between left guard and left tackle. So,
Yes.
um,
All our
And
listeners know what
it was
dive
a
play
great fake because the linebacker over there is, well, coach, I didn't even know you had the ball. So later in the scout offense, I ran a fake dive, which it looks the
Oh.
same, but in it I covered up what I have the
Make
ball.
it look like you have the ball.
Which when you do that, what does your head do?
It goes
It goes
into
down
other
slightly.
players' heads.
It goes to
Helmets.
lunch.
And then when you run through the hole, and the middle linebacker fills the hole from the other direction, both be running full speed,
Ah.
and you hit your helmet or your face with his helmet.
That's
figure
why
out.
I never run full speed.
So I was testing the rupture strength of human skin versus plastic, hard plastic.
Oh.
Might say it was an eye-opening experience.
On Mythbusters, they use like a pig.
I would have preferred to have a pig.
So next time bring a pig with you.
Wear a pig head.
Got a pig under an arm.
It's a pig skin.
Who's got the pig skin?
So not only did I split my eyebrow here, which needed glue to
Oh.
fix because you can't
Elmer's?
stitch something that's exploded.
Yes.
I also have a new scar here
Mhm.
and one right here. So right here.
In this area.
thought
Not
it hit
here.
you in the shoulder.
But right here.
So yeah, I had to go that. I missed the getting to the really close by urgent care by 15 minutes.
Oh, it closed?
It closes
Oh.
7:30. I got there at 7:45.
Oh.
And at this point, I had my head all bandaged because they bandaged me. I've got a concussion.
You look like a cartoon character.
The bandage is big enough that's starting to press, and also my eye is swelling, so it's hard to see out of my right eye. And so I'm driving with one eye and occasionally lifting up the bandage a little bit while I'm trying to drive.
For depth perception.
Because I couldn't get a hold of my wife or anyone else in my family.
Big
Weird.
surprise.
And my youngest son was with me. I should have had him drive me.
What night was this?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yes.
Oh, I guess
So I had to drive to where my wife was. And as we're getting close, like within a quarter mile of where she was, my vision starts getting darker.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I pulled in. Guess I'd calling my youngest son in to get Tracy TVD. I obviously have a head injury, so I can't
Yes.
think of people's names.
That's
They're
okay.
fake
It
names.
seems like it took like half an hour for them to come out because I guess it took him a while to convince her there was actually something wrong.
Mm.
She thought we were joking. This is the worst disaster plan ever. No, I don't know what you're talking about. As soon as she saw the quality of the wrap I had on and actual blood on my face, then she realized it wasn't. And she drove me to the emergency room, which is in the next city over.
You don't know the right password.
Oh,
Let's say the password on the air.
I'm gonna write it on my phone. I'll hand it over
He'll
to you.
text it to you.
Okay. Just text it to me.
All right. Do you have a phone?
No,
Does it work? Is it on?
no,
Yes.
no.
I don't know.
The
if
battery's
that's
dead and he doesn't know where it is.
That's probably true.
Okay, let's call him.
So, hold on, let me text this password to the boy that needs to be on DirecTV apparently right now.
Password is.
Anyway,
Farming
so
Newton.
we got to the hospital. They triaged me pretty quickly if you have blood all over your face and a
Yeah.
huge head bandage. I was making jokes with the nurses, like one does. I was making jokes actually right afterwards, even. I'm surprised that the coaches let me drive away in my car, though.
Yeah, that's.
Did anybody get the license on that?
That's
truck?
not as good. I was like, oh yeah, I can make it.
I can make it. It's not that far.
Well, it wasn't just to the. Anyway, so it was like maybe a 35-minute drive to the emergency room.
Mhm.
They cut the big bandage off and put some smaller bandages on there, so it looked less bad. Oh, and cleaned up some of the blood off my face. But we were there till 12:30.
Wow.
Luckily, they triaged me and got me back to a room really quickly. Or not a
Mhm.
room, but one of their little, whatever they call those.
Room closet.
Kind of. I guess it has a door, so it's a room.
Elevator.
And I got to actually be in the bed part of the
Here,
room.
wait in
and
this
not
room.
in the guest chair.
Buttons.
So my wife finally, usually I'm taking her to the emergency room. And I've experienced many times the uncomfortableness of the guest chair.
Oh yes.
They're meant for like 20 minutes, like a 20-minute chair.
I've
but
slept
you're
in
there
one
for
of those before.
Right, me too. So I got the bed this time, which really wasn't that comfortable either. And lucky me, they gave me a little remote that controlled the bed and the TV
Mhm.
and could call for a nurse if I needed it. And I was
Hello,
flipping
nurse.
through the channels and I found Return Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
From about halfway, I watched it, and then the same channel started it over.
So
the
you
next
watched
movie.
this first half, second.
Well, I started watching the second half, and I fell asleep at some point, and apparently my wife watched a whole other show without me knowing. But the actual gluing of the eye, well, first they came in and like irrigated it, so they have this thing that squirts salt water into your wound to clean it
Nice.
out.
They have those little tube irrigation things.
They have the
No.
like.
It had like a little
the
plastic,
siphon
hard
tube?
Yeah,
plastic
siphon
cup
tube.
that they put over the wound and kind of dig into your skin, it felt like. And then like all of a sudden there's like cold, like saline stuff flying into your wound, and that cleans it out, whatever.
Mm,
And you're flailing and screaming.
No, occasionally, and then this other one over here kept on like starting bleeding and like dripping again, so that
They sprayed it into your wound and it came out your ear.
yeah. They only touched the big one with
Oh,
that.
we've irrigated too much.
And then that part took like 4 minutes, and then there's probably actually 4 minutes additional of the doctor's time to glue me. But we're there till 12:30.
Okay.
We finally left and got home. I think we actually stopped at Jack in the Box on the way home. Got a sweet burger, I think. I think I
Never
drove.
happened.
You drove
I drove home.
with a concussion?
My wife's like, "Can you drive?" I was like, "You want me to drive?"
Like, well, I've been irrigated.
Yeah, but it's not glued. I'm fine now.
The blood loss has diminished.
They pushed
so
all the brains back in.
Yeah, it's fine. So then I didn't work Wednesday. I wasn't at the show because I worked Thursday night, thinking, well,
Oh,
if I
right.
go in after hours and no one's there, no one will bug me.
Yes, you worked
I should
the
try that.
graveyard
I
shift.
found out
Just
with
kidding.
concussions, because concussions usually, well, according to the doctor I saw today, he's like causes memory loss, but like micro memory loss.
Mhm.
So there's
Kinda
like
like
small
micro
little tiny
machines.
gaps in your memory, which caused what I experienced, which was severe anxiety, like probably what you experienced with
normal social
right.
situations.
But just walking from the parking garage past all the people that didn't know me from anybody and weren't looking at me
Uh-huh.
was difficult.
Because
And
you
then-
forgot that they didn't know you.
Because you were horribly
I don't-
disfigured.
I don't know.
You forgot that
But,
you weren't horribly disfigured.
Right. And it's also caused
You forgot
mood
that's how your face
swings.
usually
So I've
works.
been either really happy or I've been, like last night, for some reason, I was really angry.
Ooh. I almost did an article about concussions. I decided not to do it though. It was about this new test they think might help them diagnose CTE before you're dead.
Well, that's a good idea.
But they were like, yeah, we've done one tiny study and it seemed like it worked, so we're going to do some more research. I'm like, really? I read this whole article for that?
CTE, Chief Test Engineer?
No, they
Oh.
concussion,
Oh, okay.
something that
Terrible.
happens terribly in your encephalopotamus.
Basically, it's like plaque builds up in your brain,
Cephalopod?
Encephalopotamus.
which is also what they find in like patients that suffer from like Alzheimer's, is they get like plaque buildup in your brain. And they
Because they're not flossing right.
Right. Well, I figure when your
The
brain
trick
goes
is
through
setting the
trauma
floss
like
through
that,
one ear and out the
it
other.
tries to stabilize your brain so it doesn't move around as much, and maybe the plaque build up from that.
Well, they did a
Causes
study
damage.
on brains of NFL players
Are
that
they
have
zombies?
died.
Right.
And
The
they-
problem is I don't know if they've compared that to just normal people sample.
Yeah, they have.
Have they?
But 99% of the NFL players' brains they've gotten a hold of had.
But not all of them have the same symptoms.
Right.
That's the problem.
But they said Aaron Hernandez, who like murdered people and killed himself in prison,
And
he had
was
it
a
really
patriot.
bad. And the one scientist was like, "Oh, I can pretty much guarantee O.J. Simpson has it. That's why he's crazy." It's like, okay,
It
whatever.
doesn't. Yeah, it's I don't know. It doesn't. It's hard to
They say you can't.
link causality.
Having it doesn't make you crazy, do crazy things, but
Doing crazy things
it
makes you
definitely
get it.
changes you. So
All right.
it might make you.
There's a
bad
wide receiver that
decisions.
was from our alma mater that went crazy and kind of went off the deep end and lost his NFL career basically.
Yeah.
After he had a lot of potential, and his dad said it was after he didn't tell the team about a concussion he sustained,
Hmm.
and he said after that his personality changed and he
Yeah.
went crazy.
Well, your personality comes from your brain, so if you damage your brain,
And I can tell you, it has changed my personality a little bit. There are people at work like occasionally I was going through waves of being
morose.
angry, you might
Oh,
say, with
That's odd for
they're
you.
like, you're very outgoing right now and angry. It's like, well, stop doing things that make me angry.
You're turning green.
Yeah.
Would you get hit with that gamma
No, there's a
ray
certain
burst?
group of people at work that think that my group doesn't do a whole lot of work, and so they're constantly, I don't know.
There were some gamma
They're
rays
called
on the football
managers.
helmet.
No, this is the trouble desk people. That
Oh,
think that people
they're
up in
trouble.
the normal engineering code don't do anything.
Yes,
That's why
I'm
we
like,
do our own trouble
Yeah,
desk.
come spend a day at my desk and tell me I don't do anything,
I get the same thing.
and
in
then
my
like
office from
berate
those
me for
yahoos.
Yeah.
I've been one of
I
those
don't have to
yahoos.
deal with them because I do both.
Anyway. So
Speaking of sports,
what's up?
I had a golf weekend this past weekend.
What?
Me too.
You?
We played miniature golf.
Oh, that's right.
I played miniature golf. I played PlayStation golf and
Which
ball golf.
which PlayStation game? The Tiger Woods,
Tiger
2009.
Woods, 2010 or 12 or something.
Ooh, fancy.
I am much better at the
Tiger Woods?
PlayStation golf than the real life golf.
I can shoot a 21 under par on PlayStation.
Oh, I got 18 last time I played under par.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I had just as many
Take that.
eagles as I did like pars.
I got a double eagle on the Wolf Creek.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
There's one where you can
I cut the corner and
on
then
this
it's
par
like
five.
it's out in the desert, so there's
Mhm.
rocky mountains.
I think that's
You
called
hit
an
that.
albatross.
Yes, I believe you're right.
I got a hole in one on the mini golf.
No?
I did not.
I still lost.
I lost big time. I lost by 5 strokes to my wife.
Wow.
Although she did something funny. There's the 3-tier one where you hit it into a
Oh,
little
yeah.
hole and it goes to the second tier, and it's supposed to be able to just go right in, and the second tier you don't hit it again.
Right.
She hit it and it came out of the hole and went up a rock and into the water.
Did,
The second
did you
tier.
lose it?
No, I found it.
Oh, you're able to get it back.
Yeah, I can
Quite
find
the
it.
spin on that.
And I pulled it out and I set it down, and after I set it down, it rolled into the hole and went in the hole. She's like, "That's a hole in one." I was like, "Ah, "You get a water penalty."
My daughter completely lost her ball in the water on one of the holes. You know the hole that has like a crack in the middle?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she cleared that, but then it hit a rock and bounced
Oh no!
into the river that was flowing.
I left the
under.
course a couple times, and I
We
put
could
it
not.
back on.
We could not retrieve the ball. It was gone.
Hmm.
So we just.
That's why I tie a string around
we
it.
had to share
It
my
has
ball.
like that fake grass, right?
The
On the
turf?
course, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my ball had so many nicks on it. It was almost like trying to putt like a
Velcro
Velcro ball.
Oh wow.
I was like,
Well-
she picked it up at the edge. She's like, "This is what you've been playing with."
That might explain why you did so poorly.
Well, I was trying to hit it. You also can't hit it like you would a normal putt shot in golf because
Yeah.
it doesn't react the same.
Because real greens don't have windmills on them.
And my wife, she hit it way too hard and it bounced off stuff and ended up closer to the hole than mine, like all the time. I was like, and lots of times I had the perfect line up and over like a slope and it was going to come back down, but I got to the top and stopped. No!
So on Monday, I played the PlayStation golf with my wife and my roommate, and I won with a 54.
Nice. What time are you
Then
gonna
we
be with your
went-
wife at golf?
Then we went and played real golf.
Where'd you play?
The one near your house.
Oh, okay.
And I got 102.
We call it ghetto greens. That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Well, I got 3 pars,
Nice.
Wow, I
That's pretty good for
never
that course.
accomplished that feat.
and one of them was on a par 4. I got it on the green in 2 strokes.
Nice.
One of them bounced off a rock into the middle of the fairway, which helped.
That is helpful. Those are really, really
Most
tight
of my
holes.
other hits were 2 fairways away.
When I play, I don't pay a greens fee. I pay a trees fee for
Oh,
How many
yeah.
trees is that?
cleaning up the branches that I knock out. and stuff.
Someone stole my
I
ball.
think-
What?
That's happened to me there too. That's happened to me in several
I-
different places.
They're
I
probably selling
Drove
them on
the
the black
ball,
market.
and it was actually not in too bad position for the green. And I see this guy walk around where I thought my
This
ball,
older guy?
where my ball was at. No.
Oh.
And he looked like he bent down and picked something up, and then he went to where his ball was and hit his ball, and then walked away.
At that course,
What?
especially, you can't pick up just balls you find.
Because the
Yeah.
fairways
They're
are so close together.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's lame.
You should have yelled at him.
Hey, old man, that's
I
my
was
ball.
pretty far away, and
That's my ball!
I wasn't certain that that's what he'd done.
Yes,
But
we
that
saw
was
somebody.
pretty-
We were playing at a bigger golf course, and that was maybe 200 yards from where I hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And this older couple came by in a cart, and you see him stop and look right about where my ball picked up something and continued on their cart.
It's like, what?
And I get up
what are
there,
you
I'm like,
thinking?
this is right where I hit it. That's where they stopped. They picked up my ball.
Why? I don't
Why would
understand
you
why
do
someone
that?
would do that.
I don't know.
Oh, free
Even
ball.
if you thought
You're on a golf
it had
course.
been left
If you
there
find it out in the woods, yes, keep it. It's a free golf ball. But if it's out
in the fairway,
Yeah.
it wasn't. Well, it was.
near the fairway,
Yeah, it was between 2 fairways. Our fairway and the next one over. Kind
That's
of
funny.
rough. At the close one here, I think my best score I've got is 89 there.
Oh.
Seemed like I got down to 90 pretty good.
Yeah, my wife beat me at real golf too. In addition to mini golf.
Is she
But
good at
she's
golf?
been playing a lot more than I have.
that's
Yeah.
why I don't take my wife golfing.
She'll beat you.
Probably with the
This was
club.
probably the this is probably only the 6th time I've ever golfed, so
So what I'm most disappointed about my head wound was,
Yeah.
I did not once see the doctor pull T-Viddy aside to question her about my wounds. Is that not sexist? If it was the opposite, maybe be pulling me aside, maybe have the police there, showing up to question me a little bit.
That's funny.
they can be pretty crazy about stuff like that.
Yeah.
My
Until
my
I was wearing cleats, probably.
older 2 children were very small, like a year and 3 years old. The older one accidentally burned the younger one with a curling iron. And when we brought him into the urgent care, we were getting the 3rd degree, like we had done it on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
what? And they can.
Not everybody's a
And they-
psychopath.
So my son's name is, unique. And they kept pronouncing it wrong, and we'd correct them. And then they'd pronounce it wrong again, we'd correct them, and finally the doctor's like, whatever. It's like,
Wow,
seriously?
you're a people person.
Yeah, it's like, we're never coming here again.
That's different than my experience because I had the doctor actually thank me for volunteering my time to help PB football
Well,
as
that's
he was
good.
leaving. I was like, thank you.
So next time you go in, just wear the coach hat.
Okay,
I should have been wearing a hat. Might have
My
helped protect my
kids
face.
are pretty much grown now, so.
You can still wear the hat.
I had cleats on and I was wearing, I think,
Garter
athletic
belt.
pants.
Lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
Yes, that's a proper football tag. It's getting warm in here though.
Ah, you didn't comb your hair this morning.
What's wrong with
I
your
did
head?
comb my hair this morning.
Oh.
Oh, you ruined it with the
I
hat.
did. For my Indiana Jones hat.
So we had a thunderstorm today. Did you hear the lightning and thunder?
No.
No.
You didn't hear the lightning?
No.
I did not hear the lightning.
Oh,
If you hear the lightning, it's bad. You're probably
Yes.
struck.
Yeah, or like, it must have been about 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about time.
Oh, I was
getting ready.
outside, but I had earbuds in.
Oh,
No, I was
okay.
running like Power Drill in my garage.
I was listening to Span the Void while I was working on the pickup.
I've got the majority of my wall built to the 4th wall.
Oh, cool. You didn't
It's in the
break the
garage.
fourth wall.
I did not. Well, I did.
Did you-
I I didn't account for the bottom plate thickness, and so my door is
Oops.
going to be 1.5 inches taller than a normal 6'8" door.
Oh, so you're gonna have to get a different door for the filling the space.
Because if you have a 5 foot, interesting enough, you have a 5 foot wide door opening with a 6'8" door opening. The diagonal is like 8 foot 4 inches exactly.
Okay. Are you building the door?
I'm going to build the door.
Oh,
so it
well,
doesn't matter.
it's not a big deal. Then.
No, it'll just
Yeah.
be taller, which would be nice because it would
I thought you had a door picked out.
So St. Jimmy, tell us about your truck.
Yeah, so first thing I did was drain the old oil out, and it was
the
thick.
oil,
Yeah, the old oil.
old oil,
Yeah, and took the filter out because like I'm looking online.
the
Okay,
oil filter.
oil filter for this year and model, and it's like different sites were showing me different ones, and it was like,
It's made out of wood.
what the heck?
Is
So
oil one of the few words that has the same number of syllables as letters?
what about I?
What about oily?
No.
But I had to like remove the old filter so I could see what numbers were on it, so that I could order the new one. So got that ordered.
Luckily, they were still visible.
Yeah.
They stamped it on the side.
No, they were printed on with ink.
Whoa, they survived.
Yeah. So I got the number off it and went to the website of the company that sold that one, so I could get the exact one. And then I had gas gauge out of the gas tank, and while I'm pulling it out of the little hole, the float falls off into the tank. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'm definitely pulling the tank out now. It ended up being really easy to pull out, but I removed I was like, well, I'll just pull the seat out because I wanted to clean underneath it anyways. So I pulled the seat out. That was super easy. Pulled the tank out. Well, when I got the float out, I had to pour all the gas into my
Did you get the lead out?
Lawn.
No.
The neighbor's lawn.
I have a 2-gallon gas can,
Oh, okay.
but it had gas in it. Well, it's for my lawnmower,
So
that I
then
don't
you
use
finish it
anymore.
off real quick.
Yeah, so I
Glug,
drank
glug,
it.
glug.
No, I.
Put it in another vehicle.
Enginerdy Show does not condone drinking old gas.
My wife was gone
Drink new gas.
in her pickup, so all I had there was my motorcycle. So I started pouring the gas from the can into my motorcycle, but it filled up. And there was still a little bit of
So
gas
then you just
left.
start pouring it around the garage.
No,
Oh.
so I just left.
Tossed it in there.
I just mixed it with the old oil because there was probably like less than a quart left.
You mean the gasoline?
No oil.
Gas, sorry.
Oh,
We're talking about gasoline.
I thought maybe you dumped it in with this used
No.
oil.
Oh.
Don't do that. They don't like it when you return the oil. If it's
So where I returned, there's
contaminated.
no one there. You just dump it in.
Oh, I just take it to the
I
shop.
take it to the recycle center.
Oh, you don't go to the little grates on the ground that have the little
The
stamp on
little
it and
Fish
pour it
direct
down there?
oil. Fish have oil, right? Fish oil?
Yeah, that's where they get it.
The Enginerdy Show does not condone dumping oil into the.
Waterways.
Oh, so I pulled I got the float out, and it was only like, oh, no wonder this thing didn't work. Half the
float,
thing, and all these little black.
so it's half
chunks.
submerged.
Well, it wouldn't float at all because it didn't have any air in it.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna buy a whole new gauge sender unit. So until I do that, I'm just gonna drive with no gas gauge.
What?
It's kind of like my truck, which is also a GMC.
But it's only $50 for the whole assembly, and it's
Okay.
really easy to change.
You guys
just
don't know
have
how
to-
much gas mileage you get.
You just have to lean the seat forward. That's true.
Put a gas can in the
And
back and just drive
5
around.
little screws.
Keep track of the mileage. Just drive around until it runs out of gas. I don't know.
Yeah, I could just throw that 2-gallon gas can in the back.
Hopefully, you get more than 5 miles per gallon.
For 5 gallons per mile.
But I got all my filters. I changed the fuel filter and got the tank back in and put oil in it today with a new filter and new battery.
Battery?
There's a 1 amp draw on it for when it's totally off. So I had to go to the fuse box and pull fuses till I found the one that was causing the draw. So now I have to figure out why that circuit has a short in it somewhere.
Hopefully, it's not Martin short.
That would actually be cool, but I doubt it.
You open the hood. Hey, what are you doing here, Mark Short?
Draining your battery. The battery that was in it, I was like, oh, I'll just throw the charger on it. Well, the charger was like, you might have the terminals reversed. I'm like, no,
Nope,
I don't. So then it's like, well, I can't charge that. I'm like, okay, so I get my voltmeter out. It's like 3 volts. I'm like, yeah, that's bad. So I pulled it out.
So you
and
wouldn't got a 9-volt battery out of your
no.
I had 12.
But when I was putting the battery in the back of my wife's pickup to take it to the parts store to get a new one, I
Fell
noticed
apart?
the sides were bulging a little
Oh,
bit. I was
yeah.
like, yeah, that's not good. Not a good sign.
Put that in the bed, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Don't put
Yeah.
that in the cab.
No, we don't put stuff like that in the cab. Got a new oil drain pan. It's totally sealed, so I don't have to try and pour it from my open top container
Oh.
into the empty oil jug to take it to the place to recycle it.
Mhm.
So this one holds like 4 gallons, so I don't even have to take it in every time. I can do multiple oil changes and
Nice.
How heavy is it with 4 gallons of oil in it?
It'd be a
I don't know.
Not too bad.
I haven't tried it
48
yet.
pounds.
Oh.
Right now it has
Oh.
about 1.5 gallons because that's what the
What's
new-
the density of oil?
pickup
Used
takes.
oil?
it's less than water because it floats. So it's
Oh yeah.
less than 4 gallons of water, so I'd say less than 30 pounds.
That's not too bad.
I had one of my milk jugs that I filled with oil fail.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Made a huge puddle.
Yeah.
I've accidentally
don't-
stepped in my oil catcher thing and spilled it all over the driveway.
Last time I was trying to show my son how to change oil,
Careful drinking.
I had so many problems. Like, I was like, okay, make sure you put the pan such that when the oil comes out, it's underneath it, blah, blah, blah. I took the thing out and it shot past the pan. I was like,
Yeah, when your thing goes into it from the side, you got to estimate the arc.
especially if you have a bigger vehicle that has more oil. I think it was the,
Yeah, higher pressure.
yeah, the MDX had more.
Oh. Yeah, so the oil plug on the Jimmy is really big. Like, I got out my biggest socket
Then almost
and it
didn't fit.
wouldn't fit.
Oh,
So I get out my adjustable crescent wrench and it wouldn't
Did
go
you get a
big
pipe
enough.
wrench?
No, I just got my vice grips and set it so that it was on
Oh,
there
right.
enough that it wasn't like damaging the corners, but it was enough to turn it. So I'm gonna have to buy
Yeah,
a
go buy a big.
bigger socket. I don't know what size it is. I'll have to measure it.
I had to buy some big sockets for
bigger
taking
than
the
an
seats
inch.
out of our old minivan.
Mm.
I think it's 1.1 inches or something.
So all I have left is to put the seat back in and put gas in it, and
Hopefully it runs.
Should be able to.
then I'll be
Turn it
able
over?
to tell
What's
what
wrong
else
with
is wrong.
it? What? Can you cause damage to a car if you run it with a cracked head?
It won't damage
can,
the car.
Catch your
Well,
car
it's
engine on
damage the
fire.
engine,
It could.
or
I've
just
had-
gonna damage the head more?
Well, see, it depends on where it's cracked because you
Yeah.
would either be getting
Well,
antifreeze in your
Oh, right.
oil or into your
And have your
cylinder.
exhaust like
You could have your exhaust go into your antifreeze and
Smells
it
like
would
antifreeze.
like coil over.
you can have
Um,
oil drip out onto your.
So you say I should probably
Exhaust
fix that.
manifold.
Yeah, you can mess up your cylinder walls. You could mess
We
up
don't wanna
your
do that.
rings. You could mess up your.
If we did that, we could get an M3 engine and put it in there.
You could do that anyways.
We could.
Which car is this?
The Fiero.
Oh, okay.
There's some mods people have done to Fieros to put huge engines in them.
Mm,
Some put like a Corvette like engine in it.
wow.
One. It's like we have to upgrade everything though, so you didn't like snap off all your.
Yeah, so that's it.
Awesome. Oh, I might have volunteered us to go to Colleen's house at some point to build a shed that looks like an original Star Trek shuttlecraft.
Like the Galileo.
Yes, wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome. You'd have to have the plans and the cut list.
I have the
Yes.
plans.
You do? Like somebody's already designed it or you designed it?
No, like the ones that came with, or like the building set plans for the original show.
Oh. That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some nerdiculture.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So, have you guys seen the new Star Wars trailer that dropped?
Of course, it was on
Nope.
halftime of the Vikings Bears game.
Oh, I wasn't watching that game.
I don't
while
watch
the
television.
color commentator was introducing it, they had one of the stormtroopers from the what's that non-profit organization group.
Hmm.
The stormtrooper just stood there. And he's later saying he's
The
like the
501st.
he's like the commentator's best friend when it comes to doing stuff. He just is quiet, doesn't do anything. It was good. I liked it. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch it?
If I had known, I probably would have watched it. But
Oh,
I didn't know
okay.
we were going to talk about it.
Well, thought we'd talk about it a little bit.
Okay, well, now you have somebody that's seen it and
I-
somebody that hasn't.
I
so.
nerded out with the guy at work that wasn't prepared for the amount of nerddom that was about to come out at him.
Oh yeah, what did you do?
So he's talking about it. And he's like, "So the Last Jedi? Does that mean?" I was like, "You've seen the first three trilogy, the first original trilogy, right?" He's like, "Yes." It's like, okay.
How
so
many
the,
Jedi are left at the end of that?
The main hero, what happens to him? He learns he has force powers, and then his mentor dies in that movie. Okay. What happens in the second one? He finds a new mentor, but then he prematurely leaves that mentor to go fight the main bad guy, who happened to be the guy that killed his first mentor. So what happened in this?
Coincidence? I think
A
not.
girl on a desert planet finds she has force powers. She has a mentor, Han Solo, who then gets killed by the main bad guy. That sets
Well,
him up to find
and-
a new guy that's away on some deserted place.
And she's probably not going to finish her training with him because
'Cause
she's
she's
too
gonna go-
dangerous.
And she's gonna go fight with.
That's one of the things I caught from the trailer.
Oh, guess what happened? Guess who offered their the counterpart, Vader, to Luke, offered rule the galaxy with me. Guess who's probably gonna offer the same thing to what's her name? It's like they
C-3PO?
go through the reason why Star Wars is so successful is they take grand arcs of classic storytelling devices and they use them again. I'm sure.
Anyway,
I liked it.
it sounded like, from what I got from the trailer, was that Luke had tried to train Kylo Ren, maybe?
Yeah, I think
And
Yoda
Yoda?
knew that from the last movie.
And he
didn't
was too
handsome.
something.
He was too old.
And now,
He was in
Sure.
Slytherin.
and now Rey, he's...
Did Yoda try it? I mean, he was one of the guys that was training Anakin.
Yeah. Well, and then he talks about
I
it
didn't
being
want to train Luke.
too dangerous to train her.
Because she's too old.
Too old.
He likes younger women.
Well, then it looks like, what's the Snoke?
Yeah.
Looks like there's a confrontation with Snoke and Rey,
That'd be good.
and then Kylo Ren.
Newt Gunray?
I think Snoke is Rey's father. No, just kidding.
No, it's obviously her mother.
Oh. Well, and then Kylo Ren offers his hand to her.
I
at
know!
the end, like she's gonna.
Then he's
Yeah,
gonna cut her
Luke
hand
trained.
off. She'll cut her hand off.
Funny.
And then there's a scene with the.
Ewoks.
I'm gonna pronounce it at because that's how I grew up pronouncing it. Having seen the original.
How do you
in
pronounce
the
the
trailer.
ATST?
I don't.
Okay. Very smart.
Anyway, there's a whole line of them marching across this desert,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
and these other ships flying toward them.
Cool.
That looked
Are
cool.
there any tauntauns?
I didn't see any tauntauns, but I did see a penguin-type creature in the Millennium Falcon with Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Like flying it?
No,
No.
Oh, it's like a pet.
It looked like a Yu-Gi-Oh.
like you know how they had Baby Groot
Pokemon.
in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Saying this is Han
thing.
Solo's.
Yeah.
Now they have this cute little thing in the Millennium
Well, it
Falcon
worked
one,
in Guardians of the Galaxy,
I guess.
so why not?
It's just something to give the fans. Something
At
to
least
complain
it's
about.
not like Jar Jar.
I'm going to hold my
Maybe.
breath because
Wait till
I
you
was
hear
really
it
nervous
speak.
about BB-8 because I thought that was stupid
Yeah,
until I actually saw it in the movie and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
looks like it'll be in this movie too.
And there's going to be a bad one.
A bad
black one.
BB-8?
Yeah.
Does it have like a
Did
goatee?
you see that in the trailer?
I haven't seen a picture of it someplace
Oh,
else.
okay.
I don't remember.
And there's a big space battle, it looks like.
What?
There's
Star
gotta be a
Wars?
space battle.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's going to parallel the original trilogy quite well, which I'm fine with.
I hope it perpendiculars the new trilogy.
That'd
The
be
second
weird.
trilogy. I don't know.
I'm hoping for Star Wars and new Star Trek crossover.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, the bolt.
Chris Pine shows up in the Enterprise.
Star Wars, the next
God!
generation.
Could see Ray doing
To
that.
boldly go. Where
Hey, it
no
looks like
Wookiee has
what's
gone
his name
before.
though?
Finn?
Yeah, Finn looks like he's better.
Yeah, and he fights that one chrome-plated
Yeah.
stormtrooper. What's her name? Phantasma or something?
Phantasmagorica? I don't know.
Phantasmo? I don't
I
remember.
read
the
a
name.
book I think that talks about kind of her
You
origin.
think you read it?
Well, I think she's in it. I think that's the origin of it.
Okay. I think I read a book. I can't be sure. I've got a
I
concussion.
at least slept on it.
There was like an Empire guy left over that is trying to take power after the Emperor dies, but he has a bunch of I don't know if they're force sensitive kids that he's raising.
hmm
And she might be one of them.
I heard that there was like some book that
Yeah, there's a trilogy.
explored her origins, but it didn't sound anything like what you said. So I don't know.
You're way off.
Oh,
Brain boy.
We'll find out.
Your brain's leaking. Oh.
It feels like it.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is apparently Sony is in the works to make a Settlers of Catan movie.
I got 2 weeks. You want 2 weeks?
Anyone got wood? I'll trade.
I got the longest road.
And they're like really excited. The writer is
Hey.
really excited. There's so many stories we could tell in this.
Think about this. What would not this board game translate really well into a movie? Hungry hippos.
Oh yeah. I'm
It
sure
should
it's
be
been
like a
pitched.
horror movie.
It
right?
would be, yeah.
Alright, we're Googling
The
Hungry Hippo
hippos
movie.
hide in the shadows.
In a world with a spinner and red, yellow.
I
blue,
can't wait till they
green
make the
dots.
Sorry movie.
I'm waiting for a.
Hey, here's the official trailer for Hungry Hippos
Oh
the
no!
movie.
Oh, wow.
Making fun of it.
Oh, sci-fi parody.
What? Oh no! I was just being.
Apparently, they tried to make a Monopoly movie
in
a couple years
2012.
Dude,
ago.
Pascal did I collect $200?
The Emmett Furta Films has confirmed that they will work on an animated film adaptation of Hungry Hippos, along with Monopoly
An
and
action?
Action. What's Action
I have
Man?
no idea.
The movie's plot and other details are being kept secret.
I-
but
Because they don't know what they're going to do
they
yet.
probably involve hippos eating things.
Action.
Oh, it's not a game; it's an action figure.
Oh, Action Man.
That's
I heard that
Kinda
Adam
on the
Sandler
nose.
was trying to make a movie about Candyland, but was having trouble with
That sounds like a horror
whatever
movie.
Hasbro or whatever. Yeah,
makes it. Oh,
I could see Candyland being made into a movie.
Yeah, because it's got characters already.
Yes.
Not like
And-
Monopoly.
They've had successful movies out of video
Oh.
games like Clue, Battleship. I liked,
Board
even
game.
though
Yeah, it was good.
people didn't like it. And Harry Potter, Hogwarts Battle. They made like 8 movies out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
So going the other direction, I saw a Attack on Titan cooperative deck building game
Oh.
that's also based on your character actually moves around the board,
Huh.
and it changes like if your wall is being attacked, but you're over here. It looked really good. It was like $49. I didn't buy it.
Attack on Titan board game. The Last Stand.
Anyway, I thought it was
Cool.
funny. They're like, oh, there's so many stories we could tell in this Settlers of Catan.
What?
You're interrupting our podcast.
I'm sorry, I can't help you right now.
Just fix it.
Anyway, they're so excited. There's so many stories we could tell in this Settlers of Catan universe. It's like,
Yeah, because
Why
there's
do you-
nothing there. There's no story.
so you can make up any story that has on this island. Why do you have to have the name Settlers of Catan in there?
Right.
It's like,
It's like
They
one of
just
those-
need a name so that somebody
Right.
will put money on it.
It's like the
it's like the new Star Trek.
What?
I was listening to some podcast and they were talking about the 3rd episode of the series. And they're like, yeah, it's a really good show. They don't even have to have Star Trek, mention Star Trek in it. They could just,
Well, they shouldn't.
yeah.
This cooperative deck building game of Attack on Titan looks good too.
Yeah, I think I want to play that. And it's up to 5 players.
Yeah, it said 1 to 5, so you can play it by yourself or you can play it. And it's
The Enginerdy Show does not condone
big
playing by
as part
yourself.
of your torso. Actually. That looks cool. I like
They could also make a movie based on Uno or Phase 10.
Phase 10.
Hand and foot. Poker,
Pinochle.
the movie.
Civ 2, the movie.
Yeah, it
Parcheesi.
sounds like it.
It's kind of a cheesy movie.
That would be a cheesy movie.
Chess.
How about Mousetrap?
Yeah, why don't they have a chess movie?
It's in Harry Potter.
Strategos?
Checkers.
Does no one have an original idea? Come on.
Just, yeah. Well, the problem is, yeah, it's hard to get funding
It's
to
hard
make
to
a
sell
movie.
something.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive to make movies.
We can only sell it if
Good
it's
movies.
familiar to people already. And then
Mars, the
screw
movie.
it up.
I don't know.
Anyway,
make a
will you
movie.
watch it if
Twister,
the
the
Settler of
movie.
Catan movie comes out?
Yeah, they made that
I'll watch
movie
it on video.
based on the game Twister.
Anyone got a sheep? I'll trade you wood for a sheep.
Twister.
They did make a movie out of that.
You should have had like a Twister bat that flew by at some
They
point.
should have, just
Come on.
just as an Easter egg.
Ah.
That would have been funny.
Alright, that's all I had.
Nice.
Okay.
Technology with Benjamin.
All right. So, currently, you
Like with currents.
especially in the first world, there's a lot of food waste. So, there's also we consume a lot of electricity. So there's this company
Electricity.
called SEAB Energy. They're a British company. They want to.
Seed energy.
Seab.
Well, it's
Pure
their
Seab
logo
energy.
is like S, capital E, lowercase a, capital B.
CB.
I don't know what it stands for.
Seed.
I could hit
Seab
about,
energy.
but I don't want to.
Okay.
Anyways, they want to solve both those problems.
Yeah, they do.
So they've come up with these things. This one for residential is called the FlexiBuster.
Residential evil.
And it's basically geared towards like like an apartment building or a school or a hospital or an office building. Something where there's a lot of people eating food. And what it
Cafeteria.
It's not just a
Yeah.
box with pigs in it. So you just dump the food.
no,
No.
it's not. It's
Like a
actually
pork
so
chops?
the unit itself is basically looks like a short cargo container, and they can transport them
forkliftable.
easily, and they can put them wherever on your site. And all you do is you put your food waste into one end.
Can they put it on our website?
Well, probably
You
not.
put food waste into the. Wait.
So it's all self-contained, closed system, except when you're adding new stuff, and it contains anaerobic digesters
Just like me.
that break the food down
Don't break while you're
into
eating.
gases that are
Me
flammable.
too.
So it's basically the DVD of the. Anyways, it produces heat and electricity via a combined heat and power engine.
I think I just want to have pigs in there that just popped out pork
So
chops.
you can you can use it to heat your building and provide electricity for it. So, or you can use the heat to run like a heat engine.
And
I could just see
natural
that-
gas.
The management coming in down.
Well, it burns the natural gas.
We need you guys to stop going out for lunch.
Yeah.
We
We need to produce more.
need you
power.
to bring lunch from home.
Yeah.
Put it in this nice big green refrigerator.
So they have
Pork chops come out the other side.
they have systems that can also take
Systems.
sewage waste
Your system.
and turn it into heat and electricity. And they also have a system that's similar to this one. It's called the Muck Buster. It's
Like
actually multiple containers, but
Oh,
what you do is you put your animal waste into it,
yummy.
and it produces heat, electricity, and fertilizer.
Not to be confused with buck mustard.
What?
That sounds horrible. That's what you put on your deer sausage.
That's so
I guess
bad.
You
So
gotta be kidding me.
this is not something you would have in like just a single family home because you wouldn't produce
Skyscraper.
enough.
Don't speak for yourself. I have 3 teenage boys.
That's true. It might be for you, but
There's just no left. There's no waste left.
you could do it in like a neighborhood or an apartment
Don't do it at your house.
complex.
Do it at your neighbor's house.
Yeah, but
Cool.
I thought that was an awesome way to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because right now, you send a truck to pick up everybody's garbage and then haul it off, and you're using energy to move it. Instead, you could just keep it on site, and it produces energy. It's like
Pure energy.
pure energy. That's Technergy.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I have news.
I read one of your news articles.
You did.
What?
Good, you can help me.
The titles look intriguing.
So there is a dwarf planet in our solar system called
Pronounce it.
Haumea. Haumea River.
Oh man.
Haumea.
Haumea.
Is
Anyways,
it
it's
Hawaiian?
a squished egg-shaped dwarf planet.
Probably because it's spinning so fast.
Think so?
That's what the scientists think.
No.
They think the same impact that caused the ring also caused.
I
it to
didn't
start
mention the
spinning
ring
really
yet.
fast. Oh.
Anyways,
Sorry.
it's
I thought you wanted my help.
it's the only planet that they know of in our solar system that's not one of our big gas giants. It is a dwarf planet that has a ring.
Oh.
They didn't think it was possible. They thought it was. They have to do
They
with
found
large gravity.
asteroids with rings before.
Somebody must have wanted it because they put a ring.
Ring
on
on
it.
it. It's a Beyonce planet.
Yes. It's
Anyway.
shaped a bit like a squashed egg.
Pretty cool. So they use when it goes, well, when planets or whatever goes in front of another star,
What do
they
you think
use
it'll
that
hatch into?
big dinosaur.
Dragon.
That
That's
suffocates in space.
It's like, oh, this was a poor plan. What? How did we evolve this way? Maybe
I
it's
think
one of
it's-
those creatures
that's
that
no moon.
latches onto the
It's a
Enterprise.
space station.
So they were able to observe it when it passed in front of a star
Yes, and that's how they could tell that there was a ring.
Oh,
using science.
Science! I think we should capture and bring it closer.
sure.
Tether it to
The
Pluto.
ring too.
Why would you do that?
So you can make a bolo out of it.
But the
Does
problem is, if
do
you
you-
watch it, then
What happens
7
if
days
you
later,
Yeah. you're saying something.
Phase 4 scientists. They reward them.
7 days
Don't look
after
at
they
the
observed
ring.
it, they were all killed by a creepy little girl.
Beyonce. This is way Beyonce.
I think they're
Anyways, I think it's pretty cool.
I
That
think
is
they
cool.
also said they're gonna have to like adjust the definition of a dwarf planet, maybe.
Because of this.
Yes, because
Because
it
it has
doesn't
rings.
quite.
Meet
Well, maybe the
criteria.
shape too.
Well, it's got moons. Look at all those moons.
Well, one of the criteria is that it's gotta be roundish.
Oh.
Oh, it has to have enough gravity to.
But the
So
thing is,
round
it's
up.
spinning so
Instead
fast.
of changing their
Well, how
dialogue,
round
the
is
planets,
round?
they're gonna change. Well, they don't want to change all their literature that says planet or dwarf planets can't have rings, so it's not going to be a dwarf planet anymore.
Did they actually say
No,
dwarf
he's
planets
making
don't
that
have
up.
rings?
This says this is the only one they know of.
Yeah, because I was trying to see if they
So
had
how
in
far
here
away is
fast
it?
it's
Is
flying.
it inside the?
I think it's
Orbit
between
of-
Neptune and
It crosses Pluto's orbit,
yeah.
Oh,
so sometimes it's closer than Pluto, sometimes it's farther.
gotcha.
But I think it's on the same angle compared to the other planets as Pluto is.
But they said that they figure it was caused by an impact with something.
Yes, Death Star.
Beyonce.
Beyonce, her ego. I mean, her cells charge.
I was hoping
Charge cells. No,
I could
cells.
find in here where it said how fast it spins, but
Oh,
I'm not seeing it. It was like 4 or
3 light
something.
years a second.
I just read an article about this today. I don't think it was on this website though.
Oh,
The Verge.
But anyway, that's
That's
pretty
cool. I like it.
My favorite dwarf planet is still Ceres.
are you serious?
Yes,
You just like cereal.
that's right.
All right, for our next news story. So the World Cup is just starting to do the games to decide who gets to go to the World Cup.
Oh.
So Argentina needs to win their game, which is actually probably happening now or earlier. They need to win their qualifier to get in.
Okay.
So, what do you do if you really need to win a game? I didn't think about this for a
Practice
football
really
team.
hard.
Nope, you hire a sorcerer
Whoa! That's different.
named Manuel, and you bring Manuel in, and he uses his good vibes. He's a good sorcerer
Oh.
to
Wow. Does he have
influence your team.
like a degree in
him.
sorcery or something? Or can I do that? Like, how much are they
Can you-
paying this guy?
Can you bring good energy with you?
Yeah?
You pay him enough money, you can.
If you give me enough money, I can bring good energy.
Can you bring pure energy?
And if it doesn't work, it's just because some other sorcerer, the other team hired 2 sorcerers.
Yeah, or maybe they went evil. Evil sorcerers are.
And one of them's got a turban
Can-
on their head and a face on the back of their head.
Ah! No, that's me.
Can you
Oh.
trust?
Oh, you're that one.
Can you trust other sorcerers? We learned from Lord of the Rings you can't trust sorcerers because they change and become bad.
Oh, yeah.
Sauron, we're looking in your direction.
He's got sour in his name. You should have known he was going to go bad.
That's true.
Sour
very
man. Come on, it's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
What would you guys be willing to do to win a sports event?
What would you do with a Klondike bar?
Well, after I got my face split open, we beat the team 53-7.
So next,
So I told the team I'm willing to sacrifice so they can beat our next team 53-7 from the other side of my face.
That does not sound like a good plan.
I don't think there's enough evidence.
That's why my
Right.
wife confiscated my cleats.
So now you're gonna have to
So I have
practice
cleatless.
barefoot.
Yes, I wear my tennis shoes.
Oh, your
It just-
pennies.
It kind of directs me not to go running around. Especially not today when it's all
Going
muddy.
face first into
Yes,
teenagers' helmets.
right.
Maybe you should wear a helmet.
Maybe I should.
Maybe you should stop spearing players with your head.
Maybe
Maybe I
you should be wearing one right now.
Maybe I should.
There's an Iron Hand
Hey,
Man
boo-boo.
helmet behind you. Oh,
That'd probably hurt to put on there.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
I'll help. Oh.
Hey now. Hey now.
So is it bad for me to hope that Argentina loses?
Should we look up what
Did they already play?
I think it might be tonight. I'm not sure when.
Tonight.
Brazil fans demand team let Chile win to try to knock Argentina out of World Cup. What?
Soccer fans, what are you gonna do?
So Argentina can't get in if Chile wins?
Right.
Interesting.
Argentina World Cup.
Didn't the American team just barely not make it to the
I
World
think
Cup?
so. They didn't beat one of their qualifiers. Oh yeah, the U.S. failed to reach the World Cup. Wow, I think it's been a while since we haven't made the actual World Cup. That's unfortunate. That's too bad.
So it looks like 26 minutes into the game they were winning, but the comments don't continue. So.
Oh, looks like they won 3-1.
Got a headache.
Whoa.
So it worked.
Does he get a bonus?
You should get a bonus for each score that they win by.
Wow.
Maybe they didn't pay him at all. Maybe he's a big soccer fan and just wanted to help his team.
Well, they...
I mean, he's from Argentina, so the odds are good.
Admit it, a lot of fans think that they're sorcerers.
That's true.
Because
That's
they're
all
like,
they're...
oh, if I do this, my team will win.
Oh, that's true. It's like, oh no, last time I wore this sweatshirt to the game, we lost. I can't wear it again.
Right.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We won 3 games in a row. We were wearing these socks, not changing them.
Now you sound like a baseball
That only
player.
works in baseball.
Yeah.
Not in football.
They
or
have
soccer.
It's not a
Lazy.
sport, though.
They have lazy superstitions like, oh, I can't wash my socks.
You were going to watch them
It's
anyway.
like, could you please win on a week where you did wash your socks? Please? Come on, dude.
I'm not going to shave my beard and tell the Vikings win a Super Bowl.
You're going to be tripping over that
I
thing,
know.
man.
No, I wouldn't do that. I'm going to stop shaving my beard until... I'm going to start shaving my beard until the Vikings win the Super Bowl. Then I won't shave for a day.
Good plan.
Anyways, that's the news.
All right, if you want to support the Enginerdy Show, we recommend that you tell a friend about it.
We recommend
What if, you don't,
Lollipop Kill.
what if we don't have friends? Do we need to make friends first?
make friends.
If you don't have friends, then tell a stranger.
Tell your enemies.
Tell your
Tell
enemies.
Well, you probably have an acquaintance.
Oh, okay.
If you
does
have
that
enemies,
count?
tell them you don't like it, and then they'll want to
I
listen to it.
told my new coworker about the podcast,
Uh-oh.
and then that's when I found out
What?
that my other coworkers are actually listening
What?
because they were like talking about things we talked about. I was like, oh,
Like Rob?
no,
Oh,
not
okay.
Rob. He doesn't know what a podcast is.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Is that where you're fishing for whales?
Yes.
There'll be whales.
The other thing that you can do is go to our website, engineerdyshow.com, and click on the Amazon.com link.
Ooh, we might have a new T-shirt
Isn't this-
coming out with the
isn't
new
this the
Engineering
only-
Show logo.
Isn't this the only way your coworkers hear you speak? Is by listening
No,
to
I
this?
actually
okay.
do,
You speak at
because
work?
I'm kind of mentoring all of them,
Oh, okay.
so I have to talk a lot. But, like, I've noticed, like, today especially...
Wow, you just add D on the front of mentoring, and it gets a whole different meaning.
mentoring.
Mentoring.
Like suck their souls
No,
out.
I've actually
That's
noticed
part of it.
lately that...
Have you been to the training?
I've noticed lately that, like, by afternoon, my voice is, like, tired.
And then you get
Wow.
home and your
Don't
wife
talk.
tries to talk to you and you're like,
I'm going to work on the pickup. Don't talk to me. Well, I'm hoping to get the pickup running by this weekend.
at least walking.
Consumption.
Let's do consumption.
All right. I listened to a season of a podcast today.
The whole season?
Yes.
Is
In
it-
one day?
How many episodes is it?
Only like 5 or 6.
Oh.
But they're only like
Short?
40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
30 to 40 minutes long.
Oh.
It's called Invisibilia, I think.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
They talk about...
Invisible Woman?
No. This season they talked about like...
Wonder Woman's jet.
No.
the invisible forces inside our body that control what we do, like emotions
Or
and
humors.
mind and...
Midi-chlorian.
No. And anyway, it's pretty interesting. They've got... It's an NPR show.
Oh, so you talk like this.
Lots of vocal fry.
I don't know. But they like talk to people and they kind of give both sides of some things. Like for instance, they talked about this car accident that involved a little girl dying,
Sad.
and the guy in the other vehicle sued the family that had the daughter die for emotional distress, and he won. Anyway, they had
What
both.
kind of monster?
Well, they had both sides on there, and it's like, yeah. So, anyway, to listen to it, it's pretty good.
I should start suing people for emotional distress.
But it was the first time.
That lady that talked to me on the ferry that one time with her earbuds in.
You just carry like a...
Well, they also went into how
Wow.
you can actually control your emotions. You don't have to let them
Yeah.
run your
Everyone from
life.
Vulcan knows that.
I just don't have any. So
I do a pretty good approximation of human emotions.
sometimes
Do you?
I
I
understand
think I do.
what I'm
Do I
supposed
not?
to be feeling, but
Feelings.
Anyway,
it's cool. I like shows like that.
oh good, you should listen to it.
I,
The new
I've heard episodes like,
yeah, this was their 3rd season.
oh,
So this other one, is that also medical related?
colony.
So I started watching a show with my wife called Colony.
Oh.
It's on Netflix.
It's about ants.
It's stars Josh Holloway from Lost fame.
Oh, yeah.
He played
Oh.
Sawyer in Lost.
Yes.
Oh.
It's
Is it good?
created by Carlton Hughes.
Is this on Netflix?
Which is one of the creators of Lost. It is on Netflix.
Okay, I've seen it on there, but I haven't watched
So
it.
this was a show that I started watching while I played video games,
Mm.
and it's a show that
You
can't do that.
yeah,
You have to pay attention.
right. And
No.
so
There's a fee of attention. You have to pay attention.
oh yes. Anyway, I heard about someone on another podcast talking about it. I'm like, oh, I'll give it another chance, and I thought, oh, I'm sure my wife would like this because she likes those kind of shows. we started watching it, and there were a few scenes I kind of remembered, but it was almost like watching it brand
Was
new.
there a smoke monster?
No,
Polar bear?
no, not yet. Basically,
Charlie?
no, Charlie's not in.
Oh,
The basic premise is that there's been some kind of alien invasion of Earth, and they've
Ooh.
cordoned off
So it's
different
based on a true story.
cities with these gigantic walls, and each one of those is called a colony. And so there's what they call the collaborators, the ones that are kind of working with the robot
Aliens.
overlords, alien overlords, and then the resistance that's trying to fight against them. And this show is about a family that's kind of torn between the two things that are going on. And it's really good. I
I
really
didn't know it
like
had
it.
aliens in it.
I think it does.
Okay. I didn't know.
Hasn't shown any yet.
I just didn't know.
Actually, I watched an episode right before I came over here, and I may or may not have seen an alien.
Dun, dun, dun. Legal or
What,
illegal?
on the way here? Or
No, right before the credits rolled.
oh,
So,
Exciting.
let's get back. No, not.
Hmm.
I
So
just
I think
gotta
I'll
leave.
leave.
No, just kidding. Anyway, that's my consumption.
Very nice.
Cool. I watched the new Magnificent Seven movie.
What do you
It's
think of it?
on Amazon Prime. I really liked it.
I liked it a lot.
It was really good.
I liked it. I can't say I liked it a lot, but I did like it.
I found it enjoyable.
Yes. I liked the one guy, the mountain guy.
Oh yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Yes.
He was funny. My wife didn't know it was him for quite a while.
He's really good at that.
He's very
Yeah.
versatile.
He is. I was like,
Like him as the
he was in Daredevil.
yes, that's what I was thinking. What's
Kingpin,
Kingpin? There you go.
Yeah.
and he was in Jurassic World.
Yeah, you have to excuse my head injury.
Oh, that's a good excuse.
I know. I've been using it a lot.
We should go out and get concussions.
Maybe
got a baseball bat.
we can run heads into each other.
They need hard plastic.
Oh.
Excited.
We'll take turns wearing the helmet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Weird. He was having a problem with his chin strap. The snap broke off his helmet. I was like, huh. I wonder why.
You collided with your head.
Because he bashed into my head with it.
and we also watched Wonder Woman.
Which one?
The
Linda Carter.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
with Gal Gadot
Oh.
Gal Gadot.
and
Should not be surprised
Captain
face.
Kirk.
Captain Kirk beams to Earth in the 19.
So
Teens.
it was really good, in spite of all of its
Flaws?
flaws.
It had flaws.
Yeah,
I didn't notice them.
like the island of women whose job is to make sure Ares doesn't start war all over the Earth, but they don't know that World War I is happening,
I never thought about that.
and they speak modern languages, but they haven't had any contact with the outside world for who knows how long.
Oh,
Seems
lots
like thousands
movies
of years.
play fast and loose with language.
Well, they even bring it up. They're like, "Oh, we speak tons of languages." Like, yeah, but
How did you learn them?
how did you learn those?
Sailors.
They just innately
And
know it.
just overall, like some of the
HBO.
scenes that some of the things that I felt like they're trying to convey an emotion didn't make me feel that emotion. It's like, oh, I bet
You don't have emotion.
that
You're
was
not a woman.
supposed to be sad, but it had no effect on me. It didn't quite hit the mark of producing that emotion in me. But other movies do, like
Not
Marvel
Magnificent
movies
Seven?
usually hit, yeah, like you feel sad when a certain person dies.
Not
but
Wolf Creek.
in Wonder Woman, I didn't. I was just like, oh yeah, they destroyed that town we were supposed to feel sad about. But the most awesome scene that I liked was when she goes to no man's land
Yeah,
and
that was
charges
really cool.
across
That was
to
really good.
Yeah, that
dis-
was awesome.
to take out the Germans. The Germans. It was really good. Overall, I thought the movie was great. It was just there were so many little things. It's like,
Took you out of it.
yeah. But I would definitely watch it again. In fact, I watched it 1.5 times
What?
because we had it from Redbox, and if we like a movie, we usually keep it a second night and watch it again. and we got through about half of it before Mr. Polden and his wife showed up to play games with us.
Yes.
Oh, nice. So I watched some stuff.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
Shocking.
So I'm gonna go backwards
Oh,
What?
because that's how I watched it
I'm gonna have to
sequentially.
reorder these.
I watched a movie called The Bad Batch.
is it about a bad batch of cookies?
Nope, that's what they call these prisoners. Well, so it's set up where the United States or Texas, I think it's outside Texas where this took place.
Texas or the United States, one of those countries.
Well, there's a sign that said the United States, but it said
Oh.
something about Texas on it. So it's kind of ambiguous as to whether
You know,
Texas
Texas
was the
could be
United
both.
States.
Oh, is it like
Oh.
a future?
Yes.
Ah,
So they had this people that didn't fit into society. They kicked out of society out into the desert.
oh,
So this girl gets kicked out for some reason,
she
I don't
made
know.
a bad batch of cookies.
and
She wears
they call them the
earbuds
Bad
on
Batch of people that are outside the gates.
bus.
This had a pretty good cast. I was surprised.
It's a
Had
movie.
Jim
They were
Carrey
able
was in
to
it.
reel you in.
It was a podcast. No.
Oh,
Jim Carrey was in it.
oh yeah.
Um,
Did he play silly
one
or
guy?
serious?
he played a really old man that was like,
Oh well, he is kind of old now.
yeah, he did a good job at
He's
it.
not that old.
He's 37. I didn't know where you're going. Anyways,
You're
had
37.
Keanu Reeves is in it.
Oh, no, you're not.
It's interesting, but
The
there's
serious or the silly? No, I was kidding.
cannibals, and there's another group of people
Is it to
that's
find
kind of
young
like
cannibals?
run by a cult.
Did they drive
Where
you
did
crazy?
you see this? Is this new?
It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
It sounds good.
Pretty good.
I want to watch it.
You should watch it.
All right, see you.
It's kind of. I'm not sure it's for kids. There's some bloody, violent
Oh, I wouldn't
parts,
watch it with kids.
but it kind of. It seems like not a lot happened in the movie because they had a lot of dramatic cinematography stuff. It was fine. I watched it with my middle-aged son.
Your son's middle-aged?
Yes. He's younger than his older brother and older than his younger brother.
Oh, okay.
That's how that works.
Usually is with middle children.
So watch that if you want. That's that one guy in it.
Oh, that guy.
Christian Slater?
No.
Oh, not the guy
Well, you
from
might
Star
be.
The guy from Star Trek. Did have the guy from Bosom Buddies?
Did not.
Not
As
Tommy,
far
this
as I
other
know.
guy.
Somebody else was in that?
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
Had a girl in it.
Oh,
If you want to know who's in it, just look it up because D-Video doesn't know.
I don't remember.
It leaked out of his brain.
Probably. And then I watched a comedy Netflix show called Jerry Before Seinfeld.
I've
So-
actually heard of it.
It
What?
was,
He was around before
they
the
have-
show?
yeah. He's from New York,
Oh, surprise.
oddly enough.
Is his life about nothing?
That's why he has that outrageous accent.
Well, it's basically him doing stand-up and telling, and doing some of his stand-up from his first stand-up. So he went and did his routine on the stage he started on in New York.
Mhm.
Had some of his friends. So it was like his stand-up, and then occasionally they'd cut away like historical stuff about his life. It was pretty interesting. He's kind of funny. You should watch it. He has some good observations,
Mhm.
like one does if you're a famous comedian.
If you're an observational humorist.
They had a really
Yeah.
interesting visual where they
so.
had him sitting in the middle of the street, and the street was like
What's the
paved
deal
with like.
observational humorists?
But the street was like covered by these legal pad pages,
Uh-huh.
like as far as you can see in the distance behind him. It was basically all the jokes. And every time a joke worked, I wrote it down and then put it in this expandable folder thing.
And then it
And
spilled
that
all
was
over
all
the
of them.
sidewalk.
I was like, I wonder if they ruined a lot of those. It'd
Mhm.
be hard to lay them out and not have them blow away, or
Get water on
I
them.
wonder if they
Guess
were
it could be the
prop
set.
pages.
maybe it could be prop pages. But somebody could see it looked like someone walked on them, so they'd probably broken the paper because of
Right.
The
asphalt underneath. I don't know. It made me worried about his belongings. But he was sitting in the middle of it, so he had obviously on board. So check that out. I watched a movie
You watched
called
called Alan Arrival?
Alien Arrival.
Oh, from here it looked like Alan.
Really confusing movie.
Oh yeah?
Is this
It's
like
not
the newest
Arrival.
one, or
What?
is it?
Is
in
it
the
associated
Alien
with the
franchise?
Aliens franchise?
No. It's
Oh.
not associated with Alien.
Oh.
at
Is
all.
it associated with the movie Arrival?
It is not.
Maybe it is, and that's why you were confused.
Is
Nope.
it a Discovery Channel or History Channel show?
Nope.
They have alien shows.
It's not. It is a
Comedy.
full-length movie, not a comedy.
A drama?
Science
Wait, is it
fiction.
science fiction?
It is science fiction. It's a
It's a
guy.
bromance?
Yeah.
So there's well,
two cops. One's an alien. One's
I was gonna
human.
say geopolitical, but it's political because it's in this planet system or whatever. But there's
solar political.
there was some kind of civil war, and one guy won, and then he like imprisoned all of his enemies.
So like Iron Man?
I guess.
That's what happened in that movie, right?
The guy
don't
gets
remember
rescued
how.
by the out of power general guy and sent on this mission, and then weird stuff happens to him on this planet. He's like, he has to befriend like the computer from his from his shuttle that he was in. Anyways, it's
Oh, like
interesting
Alien
watching.
Mind? Oh.
It was kind of confusing. It kind of came
What
all
are you
together
doing,
again at
Dave?
the end. I was like really confused
What are
during
you doing,
parts, but
DVD?
then at the end it kind of came together. You're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess.
No, I need to watch this again.
Yeah, I might be interested to watch it a second time. Probably not though.
I'll just watch it the second time concurrently.
There you go. That's a good idea. Just get 2 TVs.
Yeah.
Watch it on your phone and the TV.
Watch it like on a delay. So you're like, oh, now that makes sense. That thing I just saw 5 minutes ago.
That's right. And then I watched a movie that I do not recommend.
Okay.
I feel like guys just decided to make a movie. It's called The Last Lovecraft, Relic of Cthulhu. I couldn't get over the main character, who might have been one of the guys that wrote it, had a lazy eye that was not quite pointing the same direction as the other one, which bugged me. I don't know. I'm sorry if you have that condition, but it's hard to watch somebody on film trying to be an actor that you can't tell where they're looking.
Unless it's
It wasn't like
the guy
wild.
from
It was like barely
The Princess Bride.
right.
What's his name? Falk?
Oh yeah, well he's got a glass eye.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that was this guy's problem. I don't know.
Peter Falk.
But I feel like
Yeah,
we could have
there you
made this movie.
We
Some of the
could've?
special, yeah,
Let's
some of
do
the
it.
special
Let's do
effects
it.
were
Scene by scene remake.
probably, well, some of the costuming were probably more or better than we could do, but we could definitely do the acting and the action
I
sequences.
know this is.
I don't know. I'm a pretty poor actor.
I am an actor.
line. I don't know. I think we could have done it. So I'd
Okay.
watch that or don't. It's not worth watching.
Okay, write a script and we'll do it.
And then the last one is this TV show I decided to watch. It's on Amazon called 10 Star. And it's about
How many
a
stars did it
British
have?
police officer that leaves England with his family to go to Western
Antarctica.
Canada to be the police chief
I've been to Western Canada.
of Big Bear,
I've
Canada.
seen it.
A Bear Band or Big Ben Bear, something with these.
Big Ben Bear.
Blue baboon.
But
biking backwards.
it's, and maybe that's why I was angry last
Beautiful
night. I was trying to go to bed. Was this show? Because there's like major tragedy in the first episode.
Bears eat
And
the entire cast.
The second part, there's like
Yeah.
there's like evidence that would be instrumental in determining who was responsible for the mayhem in the first episode. But this teenage girl has it, and it's like, just give it to your dad who's a police chief. He'll know that it's evidence. But it's
Bad
frustrating.
decisions.
Because, yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot of bad decisions in this.
Oh, so it's like Luther.
Kind of, yeah, it's British TV. That's how they do
Oh
TV.
boy.
But I
That's
like
how we
it.
do this podcast.
It's really well acted. It's I recognize the main character, the cop.
The Kappa?
He's been in stuff before.
So this wasn't his
Seems-
first
wow.
thing.
Seems like he's done Eastern European bad guy stuff before. 10 Star.
Tin
Oh.
Star.
I could have looked, but I don't
I've been telling people all day to call him Tin Badge. That guy,
Tim Roth?
Tim Roth. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah. He's been in
I've
things.
heard of his name before.
And I recognize Christina Hendricks too. I think.
He's from Reservoir Dogs.
Pulp Fiction.
Never seen it.
Lie to
Never
Me.
seen
He's
Oh,
in
the
that-
Incredible Hulk. That's
Oh
the
yeah, he
one.
was the.
He was the bad Hulk.
But he's also in Lie to Me. He was the main character of that
Oh, I don't
TV
think I've
show.
seen that.
My wife watched that for a while. I've seen Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, me too.
Not me.
Anyway, he was in it. Or he's
Have
in
you
it.
seen Reservoir Pulp?
No.
About her. Does she look familiar? Christina
Christina
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
She's a redhead.
Mad
Mad
Men.
Men. I've
I
not
haven't
seen
seen
that.
that. I haven't seen that.
Fist Fight. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen any of those.
So maybe she I don't know. Maybe she's one of those faces.
Maybe.
Maybe she's been in stuff that you have seen.
Maybe.
Firefly.
Firefly.
What?
Movie?
She in that?
Or the TV show?
Oh, she's the redhead. That picture right there.
Yes, that's where I recognize her from.
Yeah, she's his wife.
Oh, right. Anyway, she's in it. Oh, and there's another guy that plays a lot of bad guys. It's like, I don't know if you've seen the AMC TV show about the railroad.
No.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I saw some of the episodes.
He's the main bad guy in that.
I thought Cole Meany was one of the bad guys in it.
He is
Well, I'm not
pretty
sure he's a
mean.
bad guy. He's kind of the.
Maybe I haven't watched enough of it.
Go back. It should have him on there. I would think he's a famous enough actor. Not that
Cole
one.
Meany? Where?
No,
What?
the
Go
10
back to
star
what?
people.
Oh,
The 10 star
This is
people.
Great Pod.
It's Great Pod. There's like a balding
Great
older
Pod.
guy. Look at that on IMDb. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Probably doesn't matter.
No. Let's move on.
get on with it.
Yeah.
And that's all I've watched.
Get on with it.
Well, that's all I'm going to talk about.
oh,
alright.
all right.
I'm also working on some other TV shows. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm
We'll
not going to
wait.
talk about.
We'll wait.
I like to talk about those after I finish the season.
Yeah,
Alright,
that's what
that's
I
I did finish
You
the
should
season, but I'm going to wait till the third season. So. Anyway,
Well, I can wait because I would only have one thing if I didn't talk about Colony.
that's fine.
All right, let's do nerd cred.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So I corresponded with another podcast.
Ooh.
What?
I was listening to the Science Faction podcast
Yeah.
the other
Oh
day.
my.
Maybe it was yesterday. Anyway, they were talking about coconuts and cracking them open to get the milk out.
Yeah.
And so
How'd they
they
get him there?
Tell them
on the show
Read
they're
a
like,
line.
if you know anything about coconuts, send us an email. So I went on their Facebook page and I told them about where coconut milk really comes from. And basically
It's really hard
there's
to milk
some
them.
water in the coconut, but that's not the coconut milk. You have to actually take the meat and scrape it and squish it, and
Oh,
milk
it's like
comes out of that.
getting a lemon and getting the juice out of that, not just cutting
Yeah.
it open and dumping
Right, there's not just coconut milk
in the
sloshing
coconut.
around inside the coconut.
That makes
Well,
sense.
I've drank out of a coconut, the liquid out.
Yeah, the coconut water.
Yeah, it didn't make my tummy feel good.
I bet not. You can buy coconut water in the stores too. No thanks.
Anyone wants to buy my water,
It
I'll sell
wasn't
it to 'em.
great. DVD water. Yeah, with more salt.
But I went a couple years ago. I went to this. I don't know if it kind of like a luau type thing.
Like a
But anyway,
pig roast.
there was a Samoan guy that was performing like
Did you
jokes and
Dress
things.
in drag and do the hula.
No, I did not. But he
Yeah, crack
showed
a
us how to make coconut milk, and he started with the whole coconut, which he got the husk off of it, and he had like
Good CrossFit by the husk.
yeah, but he had like the tools that they would use, like including like a little wooden bench, and
The scraper.
yeah, so he broke open the coconut and then he was scraping the meat out.
The
And
brains out.
anyway, it was pretty cool. So
Awesome.
anyway,
he
I
murdered a
dropped
young
some
coconut.
knowledge.
So they
Dropped
they
some
answered
knowledge
your
on the
email?
science faction. Yes, they
Nice.
asked if it was okay if they talked about my comment on their show, and I said sure.
But did you ask them if it was okay to talk about their stuff on our show?
No,
Okay.
you don't need
It's
that
first-
kind of permission.
Yeah, it's like first person knowledge. Or something.
I prefer second person.
Anyway,
That's hearsay.
Exactly.
I don't completely agree with everything that their opinions on things, but it's an interesting show.
Is there anybody that you fully agree with?
Yes.
Myself,
I don't even do that.
I guess there's not anyone I fully agree with, but
Yeah, I'm just wondering why you have to make the disclaimer.
I don't know, because I just noticed that
You're like, I like these guys,
like I like these guys.
but they're kind of out
I don't
there.
agree with that, but I generally like
Yeah.
what they are putting out. So
You don't want people thinking that you because you like their show, you agree with everything they say.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which I guess you
I don't agree with
don't.
everything you say.
What?
And I obviously don't agree with everything you guys say,
That's why I try not to say things.
and vice versa.
So
Verse
you're
vice
keeping
versa.
it to yourself and you don't agree with me. Huh?
I
think,
just don't want you to disagree with me, so I don't say anything.
I think I have a
Oh,
shot
okay.
of actually getting
Shot.
a comedian that I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos.
On our show?
I think there's a possibility. He seems like the kind of guy that if I approached him, he might do it, just because he's a cool guy like that.
Would we agree with his opinions on things?
I'd agree with his opinions on things.
Oh, so we won't?
He's actually really good at piano playing.
Oh, okay.
I don't agree with pianos.
He does his own podcast called "Why Didn't They Laugh?" where the premise was breaking down Owen
I've heard
Benjamin,
of this.
where he breaks down why I joked him, but he doesn't really do that anymore.
Hmm.
But I recently have been like live streaming like on Saturday morning. So I was, oh, he's live, so I clicked on it, and he was just at his house with his keyboard, which he doesn't read music, but he can play pretty much anything he's heard.
Because he's blind.
No,
Oh.
he plays by
No,
ear.
he's deaf.
He's a comedy jam.
He's nose blind.
She was blind. But during the show, his wife comes up and asks, "Can I give you a buzz while you do this?" He's like, "Sure." So she's cutting his hair while he's playing the
Oh.
piano and podcast.
Wow.
It's funny. And while he's doing it, he has
Multitasking.
YouTube up, so he's reading comments. Oh yeah, he's like actually responding to people. And I noticed there's not that many people that are on there. And one guy was having problems. I'm selling as a veteran, so he's like, "Well, so and so reading it off the YouTube. Let me send you $100 if that'll help out." And so like gets his information and sends him $100 just to help him.
Weird.
I don't know. I like him. I discovered him on Steven Crowder's podcast. He was on there as like a guest, and then I saw him on Joe Rogan's podcast. So he's kind of a famous, like, good comedian. He's really tall. He's like 6'7".
That's
He's a
funny.
cool guy.
I'm trying to think
He's
where
cool.
I heard him. I wonder
Probably
if they
told you about him.
talk. I was thinking maybe I heard about him on.
He's been
Adam
on Adam
Carolla.
Carolla's show.
Okay,
before.
that's where I heard about him.
He's funny.
Cool.
Go watch his stuff.
Owen Benjamin.
I'm kind of afraid to, it's one of those things that people that you like.
You don't want to
you
actually
don't want to.
meet them,
Although I'm sure he's cool.
but you're
He seems
not.
cool.
Oh,
I'm not cool. Yeah, I'm not cool enough.
That's
That's
true.
probably what I
No.
feel like.
Well, when we met Jason Huff, he was really cool.
Yeah, we didn't invite him on the show though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Scaredy cats.
Although I was wearing an Enginerdy Show T-shirt.
I also wore one when I met him one time.
We need to get the.
I'm
third
gonna
one
get
out.
the new one. I'm gonna put the new one up and buy one. What color?
So, email them to the show.
Yeah, I can get it.
Okay, it's a high res
Sweet.
PNG.
I'll see how it looks on different color shirts.
Okay. The problem is you're gonna have the 3 colors on it.
Is that a problem?
Well, it is if you match the color with, or not quite.
Well, that's why I'm gonna have to look
Okay,
at different
yeah,
colors,
look at
and
it.
I'll pick one that it doesn't clash. Well, I'll get my wife to,
Good
I
idea.
say.
because I don't do
And if
colors
if
very
she
well.
thinks, well, if you change this one color slightly, or if you decide that 3 colors on there don't match up with the
Anything.
Star Trek,
Oh,
I can change them. It's not a big deal.
okay, cool. If you want to contact us, send an email to enginerdyshow@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. I see the tweets daily, so keep them coming. Listen to the show, tell your friends. Go to the website, enginerdyshow.com. Click through to Amazon to support us.